So we're well into fall here, and we'll see what the cards have to say about how we're doing and where we're going and what we need to learn. Maybe. Willa, can I get you to cut them? And you can play with them a little bit if you want to. Okay, so we've smudged in here, and now we're smudging the cards. So the tarot cards are connected to astrology, planetary influences, and that sort of thing. But very, very deep psychology, in my opinion. I'm a retired psychologist, and I found in these cards a much more thorough and deeper, we'll say, opportunity to go into trauma and so on and so forth in a much different and deeper way. So, let's see what's going on here. The Tower card, well, that's a good one to start with. You can say that the Tower represents your personality. And what this is saying is that you're going through change. That things are changing. And my recommendation to that is welcome change somehow. Don't be afraid of it. Endorse it. But it also, it has, you can see the card, it has two individuals seemingly cast out of the tower of the personality. They represent the self-conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And essentially what's being implied here is that the belief systems that you've been living by or thinking that was right for you might be changing. And the way you're reacting to the world could be changing. But there's an upgrade going on here. There's a higher awakening happening. And it's almost like, if you think of it in terms of the cycle of the year, we could be cycling out of what was taking place during the year. And this can happen to some people. But it does mean that they're actually awakening to their higher potential. That they're discovering who they really are, and that means you. So this is a good one, but it can be painful. People can break up, relationships can be on the line. Shadow energy could be dancing around you, so to speak. Blind spots, things that you didn't see coming. And this is about readjustment time and looking at not only the way things have been, but how to readjust at the personality level. Okay, what's crossing you is Venus, the Venus card. By the way, the Tower card is Mars in this destructive phase, high intense energy. The Venus card, Empress, is about love and fertility and pregnancy. It's a feminine procreative card, and it has to do with multiplication, extending your own self into a higher place, creating new ideas. And so since this card is definitely for Willow, and she's the one sitting here, I can see that strongly with you, Willow. You probably have more creative ideas than
time for.
That's right.
That's for sure.
Okay.
And Chi, I'm going to have you move them a little closer to you
Okay.
so that it's in the
Got it.
camera better.
Okay. Okay, this is what's going on now. This is beneath you, or we'll say your subconscious activity related to what you think you're doing. And at that level, it talks about readjustment in some areas of your life, about maybe looking at some behavioral patterns or even some mental patterns, the way we think about things, emotional patterns that maybe aren't working as well as they used to, something like that. Because this Seven of Swords is about an individual walking sort of away from the past a little bit, and has left some swords there, or some patterns that have been broken, we'll say, but is holding on to some others, and is looking back a little bit at the past, like maybe even missing it some. So this is subconscious, so this would come through our even our complexes, or our patterns of behavior, the way that we're reacting to the world. Behind us here is the Five of Pentacles. Now, in the minor arcana, the swords, we go back to what's below. Swords represent air, but intense energy, and sometimes meditation is required with this. Behind us here, which is the past, we have the Five of Pentacles. And Pentacles represent the earthly plane. The number 5 represents mediation, and this has already happened. So it has something to do with feeling abandoned, feeling having some self-worth issues, and some patterns related to that. I talked about leaving some patterns behind. That could be, for some of you, what's taking place, that you're transforming out of some patterns that you feel like were holding you back. Death. Well, this is a good card. This is coming into being shortly. And the Death card in the Kabbalistic system represents noon, N-U-N, which is connected to the word Nashama, the divine soul. Okay, what this is implying is that, yes, there is a death taking place here, like the Tower card. That's a sort of a death of some old patterns. And the releasing of some of your connections to an old personality that's not functional anymore, something like that. And so the death is good. And that means that the patterns are going to be clearing. And it's happening soon, shortly. We'll say the next month or so. And so the Death card is also about being able to face some things in yourself that that's hard to change. We'll talk about an addiction or something along those lines. And so the Death card, though, means that's when you want to put it on the line. Because if you're wanting to get past an addiction, die to it. So anyway, the Death serves as a good way too in terms of maneuvering your own personality structure. Okay. The Strength card. This is the next few months, going into the end of the year probably. Okay. The Strength card is about vibration. We live in a world of vibration. Everything is vibration. You have a woman here who is Mother Nature, controlling, we'll say, the animal-like vibration of the red line. Okay? This represents a principle of vibration. The higher frequency, Mother Nature, is controlling the animal-like nature of the lion. And in alchemy, that represents the red solar phase of alchemy, which is the awakening phase to who you really are, and some of your lower behavioral patterns are kind of on the line, and you don't have to worry about it because Mother Nature will change them. Because we keep readapting to who we are. The personality is like this little tunnel that things keep coming in and things keep going out all the time. And so this is part of the spiritual awakening process in alchemy, whereby you're beginning to align with the higher, we'll say, metallic consciousness. Don't try to figure that one out because I'm not sure what it means, but something like that. Okay. For the future, we have 4 laid out here. Make sure they're in right. Okay, so what we have is the 6 of Swords. And 6 is the number of beauty, number 1, I want to say. And but this is kind of a painful card in a way. It's a woman sitting in a boat and a man taking her out into the water. And what this is about is it's sort of the battleground that you have to face. And by the way, this is happening next year, approximately. This is the battleground that you have to face and look at that has to do with the releasing of old patterns and how to deal with them. And so it's coming up that this lady's getting away with her child. That could be symbolic or that could be real. And is over water in a boat getting away from things. Not necessarily forever, but to get some peacetime where you can contemplate how to deal with issues. Okay, the 5 of Wands. Now, 5 is mediation. 1 is beginning, 9 is completion, 5 is in the middle. And so what this is about is your ideas are going to be activated, but there's some complex things going on with friends and coworkers or whatever, trying to keep things straight. I can't see that happening anywhere. That sounds like the world right now, you know, like complex issues that are really difficult to deal with, and you know, can cause reactions and that sort of thing. Now, I want to say this is by the book. This is the next year, but we both know that that's arbitrary. We know that it can be faster or it may take longer. Mm. But that gives us a time set to at least look at it. Okay, so this shows a monetary, and this is the ace, a monetary return, or we'll say a profitable one or something like that. And this is more than just money. This is resources and opportunities that were not known before. Okay, so the outcome looks really good for next year. the outcome is the Hierophant. And this is, I mean, generally speaking, this is aligning with your higher self. And so that puts a different story back here, too, about what could be going on now. Because if you're aligning for that, then this Tower card could be very significant. It could mean some very powerful things happening, and it has a death card above it to your personality. And this, when I say shadow stuff, this can be shadow stuff too that you didn't, that we weren't anticipating to happen. Okay, how's that for the time?
That's great.
Okay. Okay, then I'll give a general overview of this.
Great.
What's going on now is the Tower card, which is the foundation, the impetus for the whole reading, sets a tone of shifting some behavioral patterns and changing in some ways, and so these patterns are being kicked out of the personality, so to speak, not just by you, but a lightning flash from on high, and which means it's a divine influence, a divine inspiration, and that it's necessary. And the procreative stuff relates to you as just allowing yourself to be the creator that you are. If you're pregnant with ideas, then go for it. And if you make a mistake in what you're manifesting, shift it or something. Be open to working with it. Adjustment control, working with patterns in maybe an orderly way. Letting go of some feelings of, we'll say, self-worth issues that aren't important anymore. May have been at one time, but, and that's part of the death too, that things are going away. And then it's about the higher vibration working, allowing this higher frequency to guide us. And then the idea of that we're that there's sort of this battleground going on in terms of right action, even though the personality is not out of the picture, but not in the power, driving the boat sort of thing. And so anyway, there's some activity going on with friends, loved ones, co-workers, so on and so forth, next winter time. But then money coming in, and then alignment with the higher self, in the sense of, and when I say higher self, I'm also saying that I think this is, for some of us, maybe we would say our authentic self, and with higher vibrational energy influence from the higher self. Mm-hmm. Something a little on the line of Christ the Son frequency. Okay, love you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.